Hey, thanks for joining us again. We're here and we're excited about today. Going to get into some conversations, but first of all, I'm here with Naxa and Justin. And one of the awesome things that took place today is that Riot Worship premiered their album. So that's super, super incredible, super powerful, super, super amazing. And we want you guys to go check it out. We will make sure a link is in the bio for you to go listen to it, but head over to literally just type in Riot Worship. Heartbeat will pop up and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be impactful and incredible to you. The other thing that is super magnificent is next week, in a few days from now, is Riot Conference. We want you to be a part of it. We want you to be a part of what God is going to do, what God is doing in our lives, in your life, and we know it's going to be a blessing to you. So no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, we want you to come join us. We want you to come and celebrate God with us. If you have never been to a church, if this is your first time, please come and join us. We know God is going to do powerful and amazing things, and he will minister to you in a way that you have never seen. It's going to be incredible. We have incredible speakers. We have an incredible lineup, an incredible program for you. And God is going to move in such a way that will bless your heart. It will bless your mind. It will bless your spirit. It will bless your soul. And you are going to not leave Riot the same. So we want you to come join us. We have amazing things in store for you, and we cannot wait for you to experience them next week. So wherever you are, wherever you're doing, make the time, come down. And it's from the 14th to the 16th. The 14th to the 16th, and it's going to be a blessing to you. We can't wait to see you. We can't wait to minister with you, pray with you, and show you God's love, and it's going to be a blessing to you. So whatever you're doing, wherever you are, we really can't wait to have you. If you're here today, you're thankful to be here, just greet us in the top chat. We're going to be looking at them and reading them, and we know that God is going to be a blessing to you. So we pray that you had a fruitful day. For those of you who've just come back from work, those of you who are in traffic, we pray that you had a fruitful day today. We pray that God's mercy was with you, and we pray that you had an amazing time. And as we get into everything, I am going to let some of these guys share and let them tell you how, all the exciting things. But Riot Worship and conference next week.
I can't wait for conference because I'm personally excited. Last year was something incredible. Most people didn't see they didn't know what hit them, basically. So there's a bunch of people that are excited with this thing of, we know what to expect. But you never know what to expect when you come to a Riot conference. But the only guarantee is that you're going to experience something that you have never experienced before, and your life will not remain the same. So I just want each one of you, don't just come alone. Come with a friend.
Yes.
Especially a friend who has no business being in church. That one friend who you think has no business being in church, that's the one that you should bring. The one that feels like they don't belong in church, that's the one that you bring, because that's the one that's going to be heavily, heavily impacted. So don't miss it. We're going to start as early as 9 a.m. There's a lot of activities to do, a lot of things to do. Don't just come later on in the day when we've covered 90% of the activities. Come early in the morning. Early in the morning. There's people who cleared their whole schedule for the entire week just to be there. So I wouldn't want you to miss it. Yeah.
There's one point you're missing though. So for those who actually want to meet and have a more in-person detail on what's going to be happening, this Saturday we have a Riot meet and greet at the church, Courtside Chills Edition. So we're all going to be there. You can come with all your questions about what to expect at Riot, how you should come, what to do, everything in detail that you... Obviously, we can't tell you some things because...
it's going to be a surprise.
There's some surprises we have for you. So be ready. Saturday is for you guys to also get to know the team, get in touch with everyone, so that no one also lies to you that they are part of the team and they're not. Because there's going to be so many people at Riot that we don't want you to get lost. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be fun. And I really I'm super excited because I feel like a lot of people are going to be touched.
Yeah.
This is the thing. No matter what's going on in your life, no matter what you've done, no matter what you think is wrong, no matter what you think about yourself, just come. Come and experience what God can do. We're telling you that God loves you and he's willing to meet you wherever you are, whatever's going on in your life. He's willing to see you and help you. And we know it's going to be a blessing to you. Yeah. So please come and join us. Come pray with us. Come worship with us. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Yeah. Really, really, really incredible. We have so many things lined up for you, and it is going to be power packed.
Yeah. There's something that you said some time back, a statement that there's so many people that are they're not in tune with what's really happening. So they just make statements like, oh, the young people are hungry for God. Yeah. The young people are, they're on fire for God. And you're like, no, they're not.
Yeah. and look, so I the internet is a place that, like, even when we put out clips and share them, it's like a really short clip of like 5 seconds of something or 30 seconds of something. You don't get the whole context. But pretty much what I was saying is that I don't like it when people say, this generation is hungry for God. This entire, like, it may be in another part of the world, but like from what I see, I'm not seeing the people who don't need to be rescued. I'm seeing the ones who need to be rescued, and the ones who need to be rescued really need to be rescued. Yeah. Because I remember seeing this for years straight. Like, you're driving down Kawalagala, and every bar, club is full. And I mean, we would leave church late. Yeah. Services would finish at 12. We leave church in like 45 minutes later. You're coming back late, and all of a sudden, like, every club is full. Not with old people. These are young people, teenagers and up, right? So when people were making these statements, the young people like are hungry, I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Be realistic. And I feel like for me, that statement is not an encouraging statement. It's a statement that promotes laziness. We don't need to try hard because they're hungry. No, you need to try harder. Yeah. Because they're not interested. They feel like they don't belong. They feel like you can't reach them. They don't feel empowered or strong to share God's word. They feel like a lot of people don't want to be in church because it's not helping them. Yeah. So that's an aspect that I want to see changed. And I want people to understand that we still have work to do.
A lot.
We still have work to do. We're not close. Right. I for me personally, I feel like nowadays church is a culture thing. It's not really it's not a heart thing. And what I mean by that, you have people who are going to church because right now it's like, it's cool to go to church on Sunday.
Yeah, church is better now.
But your heart is not going to have a relationship with God, right? Yeah. It would be the same way I would explain this. You pray when you want something from God, but you're not praying to have a relationship or an encounter from God or to hear him. Does that make sense?
Quick fix.
Like, you're praying to have, oh, God, I want to hear you. I want a new car. I want a new house. God, I want you to fix my debt. I want you to fix this. And he hears you and he does it. Don't get me wrong. He does the thing, but we're not praying to have a relationship. Yeah. Like, God, I want to know you. You're the one I want to know. You're the one I want to hear. You're the one I want to feel. I don't want to hear anything else. I want to have a relationship with you. I don't care if you give me anything else. I want to know you. But right now we are in the stage of, it's kind of cool to go to church on Sunday. Like, identify, but actually the best way to say it, it's cool to identify with a religion right now than it is to be without one. But a religion is not a relationship, and vice versa.
That's true.
Right? A religion is basically a continuous set of practices to what you believe a higher power is.
Wow.
it's not a relationship with God. A relationship with God, and why I say you need to have a relationship with God is because, one, we're not serving practice. We're not serving good deeds. We're not serving achievement. And we're not serving history.
Yeah.
We are serving the one who created us. The one who made sacrifices for us.
Yeah.
Who loved us enough. That's what we're serving. So I would really love people to understand we still have work to do. And pretty much Riot is just saying and telling people we still have work to do.
Yeah. We still have work to do. Actually, that's the whole point. Like, to get whoever comes to Riot, it's for you to experience something so good that you want your neighbor, you want your friend, you want your relatives, you want everybody that you know to come and taste and experience what, you know, because there's a lot of people that are out there that are unreached. You know, people, they're not interested. Like, bro, they're not interested. You see, you just check what they post and you're like, okay. Like, they're not interested in anything to do with God. They're not interested in anything to do with church. And those people need. And it's not because they don't want to. Some of them, it's just that they don't understand why.
Yeah.
Like, what's the purpose for me to get in church?
Yeah.
You know? No one has bothered to, like, you know, sit them down and explain that to them. Because to them, the whole concept of church is this thing that you just have to go to. It's a chore, you know? Praying is a chore.
They see it more of a punishment.
It's more of a punishment. Like, it's not fun. There's no life to it. And we're here deceiving ourselves that, oh, those people are on fire.
Yeah.
No, you know, me and Mara were talking, and remember was checking through Instagrams, and she tells me the thing that irritates her the most, and I think she saw it majorly here.
Yeah.
Young girls, Instagram bio says, God first.
Oh, yeah.
The very next, like right under the pinned picture.
I see that a lot.
Is her bum.
Yeah.
Like,
But
just,
yeah.
let me tell you, it's not just here.
yeah.
Around the world, and let me just be blunt and say this for what it is. If you've put Proverbs 31:15, whatever woman you want to call yourself, right? Whatever verse you want to put there. But you're drinking, you're twerking, you're promoting everything
You're joking for Jesus.
that God is not for. What are you exactly?
You know, some of them, it's, I think, not even lack of information. It's utter stupidity and ignorance. Because I remember once we were in school and we were having a whole argument about the whole, you called it the alphabet community.
Yes.
So I'm like, you guys, then this chick comes up, no, but if God doesn't even like that, like, why hasn't he ever talked about? I told her, you're dumb. It's just 2 books, Genesis and Exodus. They were burnt. Like,
That's all you need to.
to her, she was like, why has God never punished them? But like, it's not even far. It's not like in Matthew, right?
Yeah.
It's in like the 2nd book of the Bible, where it is literally evidence of what happened to these people for what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The where I know that people have a problem is that they want to come in, right?
Yeah.
But still keep what they came in with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's the issue.
yeah,
So Jesus says, come as you are, meaning, hey, come with all your mess. The problem is when you cleaned your house, but you want to keep the dirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
You've cleaned your house, but something has come on top of you that I want to keep the dirt. I like it. No, the cleaning, right? That's not even the best. The best way to say it is that God comes in, the cleaning root comes in and starts cleaning your life, and you're like, I want to keep everything. I want to keep the dirt. I want to keep the old stuff you found. It's mine.
Yeah. It's
Well,
mine.
this is a part of me. This is who I am. No. You know, I always say this. Well, you need to love yourself. No, you don't. You shouldn't love where you are.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't love yourself because this is not the best version of you.
Yeah.
This is not the version of you that God has intended.
Yeah.
To quote my Dragon Ball Z fans, this is not the final form.
Fifth form.
Right?
Yeah.
This is not the final form.
Yeah.
This is not it.
Yeah.
You have so much more. You have a lot more to accomplish and do, that to somehow minimize who you are in saying, well, this is who I am, I don't care, only God can judge me. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The state, when people say, well, you can't judge me, only God can judge me. Yes, that's the problem. If he's the only one who can judge you, and believe me, when he judges you, it's final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just casting opinions and ideas and maybe suggesting some changes. But when he says it's done, and you're on the wrong end of the done,
Yeah.
it's final.
Set in stone.
But people, I think, let me put it this way. You want to be saved, but you also want to have your fun.
Yeah.
I want to identify with God, but I don't see why I can't do what I always do.
Yeah.
I can't enjoy myself the way I've always enjoyed myself. Well, there's a lot of reason why you can't enjoy yourself the way you've always enjoyed yourself. Because the way you were enjoying yourself might have been the most destructive, evil, and docile thing you could have ever done.
That's right.
There is a part in the Bible which describes this, what we're dealing with now. And it pretty much references trying to hold on to something that you need to let go of to go where you need to be. Right? And the best way I could describe this is Elijah and Elisha are the two best descriptions for this.
Yeah.
You have to burn what is there. You see, I can hold on to my life, my old life. Some people don't enjoy their old life, but they still hold on to it. You want to know why? Just in case this Jesus thing doesn't work out.
They have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
Just in case I get disappointed. Just in case it fails, I could go back here.
Yeah.
What God wants is this. God wants you to have faith.
That's right.
Right? Faith of a mustard seed can move a mountain. Yes, it's true, but he wants you to have faith. But on top of that, God never wants to be number two to your ideas. So your ideas have to vanish.
Yeah.
Plan B can't be there for God to work. Right?
Yeah.
It's talked about it this way. If you want to make something work, Alex Ramosi talks about this in Becoming a Millionaire or Starting a Business. He said, don't follow these crazy ideas right away of a millionaire has 7 streams of income, so you begin working on 7 small things. He said, no, put everything in one thing. Let that one thing work first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then diversify.
Yeah.
He said, do not spread thin without the one thing really pushing forward, without the one thing really, really working.
Yeah.
You want something to work, you want that one thing, let it start working then. Start going after it right then and there. Start pushing for it right then and there.
Yeah.
Aggressively, angrily, right?
Yeah.
Forcing your way through. But I think a plan B is something we're always accustomed to,
Just
right?
in case.
And we train it not spiritually, but we train it in our mental and personal lives.
Yeah.
Right? We train it in the physical that let me go in this, not all the way, but just in case something happens. I won't commit fully. I won't commit fully. Just in case. You can't treat God like just in case and then expect him to do what? Be just on time.
Yeah.
Be dependable. Right?
Yeah.
You want God to deliver.
Yeah.
But you treat him like just in case. Man, I ordered a book from Amazon, but just in case it didn't work out, I ordered one from Barnes and Noble. Bro, what are you talking about? What? I have faith. It's coming. He tells you, I'll answer you. You seek me, you'll find me. You ask me, I'll give. I've got you. Put everything aside. Right? And that's a lot of the Christians out there, they have a plan B and they believe they're being smart. But what you're saying is, I don't trust you, God. I'm here just to pass the time. I'm here until you disappoint me. How can God fully reveal himself to you?
Doesn't.
The fact that you don't trust him, he can't trust you.
Yeah. And it's, the Bible says that do not be fooled. God cannot be mocked. Whatever you sow, you shall reap. Some people sow with doubt, with seeds of doubt within themselves, and then they reap. You reap something similar to that, right? Uncertainty. A double-minded man is always unstable in his ways. So when you make decisions based off of, I do not trust this, I don't trust him, right? That's why a problem comes in. When you don't believe. And people think believing is, having this knowledge, this awareness that, okay, there is a God, I know. Bro, it's deeper than that. Benny Hinn uses an example of a chair, right? When we came to sit here, we didn't even think twice when we were sitting. We didn't think twice to first examine the chair, like, hey, is it what if it has spikes in it? Does it have like a bomb or grenade? We didn't check, we just sat, right? And he said, believing in God is as simple as that. Like, you go wholehearted, like you put your trust entirely in him, right? And that's when, that's actually what equates to you believing and doing the work of God. Last time we were talking about it when in John chapter 6, in the 30th, around the 30th verse or 28th, where people were asking, what should we do that we do the work of God? And Jesus said, only believe in him who God sent. He was telling them, believe in me, like just believe. And the belief there, he meant trust. Have trust in me, right? And so you find people think that their assumption of the existence of a God equates to faith, or their assumption of his, working power, or the knowledge that they have that God has worked before, or the things that they hear, the knowledge they've acquired of God, right, equates to belief. No, believing in him is you trusting him. Like, I have nowhere else to go. Like, I'm not going to double check. There's no double checking with God.
Yeah.
Right? It's either all or nothing, 0 or 100. There is no in betweens. Right? And without faith, it's impossible to please God. So you find a whole bunch of people thinking that they're pleasing God, but by what they do, and yet they don't trust him.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing all these things, I'm serving God, but you're putting your faith and your trust in your side hustle. Henceforth, you're going to dedicate more time in your side hustle, because in case this thing that God has called me to do, God, I know you've called me to serve you, but just in case this doesn't work out, I have my farm, so I'm going to dedicate all my time for that. In my safety net, I'm going to dedicate all the time I can give, all my resources in the safety net, right? and yet God is calling you to put your trust in him, right? And this is the funny thing, that the dilemma is, for you to put your trust in someone, you have to know who he is, or have some idea of, what's his credibility, who is he, right? But that's the thing, we're too lazy to get to find out who he is, to dedicate time. It's too hard for us to read the Bible. It's too hard for us to pray. It's too hard to do all these things which equate to us, seeking God, because you said it. If you seek me, you will find me. Those that diligently seek God, they will find him, right? That's what the Bible says. But we are too lazy, right? We're too lazy to take time to get to know who God is, what he has done, what's his track record. So it becomes very difficult to trust such a person because you don't know him. Like, I don't know you. I know they say you're God, right? I've actually met people, like, you be in the presence of someone, they say this guy is let's say he's a commander general, right? But you don't feel safe because I don't know you. Like, I don't know you like that.
Yeah.
Right? To me, you're just another dude that people are just saying. There's all these things about you, but I haven't experienced that, so I can't trust you, right? And so it's the same thing with God. We do not trust God because we haven't taken time to know who. Because if you knew him, right? Right now, if Rob tells me something and he promises something and he says, "No, guy, rest. Don't worry about that," because I might come to him and I'm like, "Oh, this is not working out." It's like, "No, dude, just chill. I'll sort it," right? If I didn't have a relationship with him, or if I didn't have a rapport, like if I didn't know Rob, right, I wouldn't have peace about it. If he says have peace, I have peace, right? But if someone else came, like some random dude, right, who I don't know, and it's like, "No, it's okay, I have it," but I'm paranoid. There are people who, even the people that we live with, even the people we interact with, even when they tell you that I have it, I'll sort it, you're still skeptical. You're like, "Ah, man, I don't trust this dude. Right? But there's this one person who, if he says it's okay, I have this handled, you're sure they're gonna handle it, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because you know them. So it's the same thing with God. We cannot say we trust God if we do not know him. You can't trust someone you don't know. Whether they are good, whether they have good intentions, you can't. You have to know who they are. Right?
This is more of a question, though.
Yeah.
Do you think people don't want to know God because they're afraid of the truth? That they're basically just trying to run away from fate, which is impossible. But they try and act like, I'm not going to look into it, because they think they're safer when they don't.
I would put it this way. Imagine you grow up and you've built your entire worldview on something. And then your something is now confronted with
That's
something else, and it has the potential of being completely shattered. You've lived your life one way, without those consequences, without these rules, and now there's a possibility that, hey man, like, God's real, you could go to hell for what you're doing, and you don't want to find out. I think one of the things that scares people is that they don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like, they know that, hey man, 1 + 1 = 2, but I don't really want to find out what 2 + 2 equals. So I'm just not gonna even do the question. I'm out. Right? I want to run from this.
Yeah.
That's the general idea behind everything.
That's
like,
true.
are you sure about that? Nah, man, I don't want to know. And again, it comes from a place of, but why would I want to lose all of this? Right? And it also goes back to, well, I don't have any problems in my life right now. Well, you don't have any problems because the problem causer doesn't see you as a threat enough. So you're just going to leave you to coast. He's going to fold his arms and be done with you. You're not a threat.
Yeah.
He knows he has you. You're done. It's either there's nothing to worry about you, or he's done with you. He's completed the task with you. You're going to hell.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Those scenarios are not good. When the devil, well, people need it. Like I said this yesterday, when the devil is silent in your life, problem. But when hell has noticed you, rejoice.
Yeah.
Because they see what is in you, what you're capable of, where you're going, and what you're going to do. In other words, they see what God put in you.
Yeah.
Most times, in that case, there's no good way of saying this, so I'm just going to say it. That person will end up meeting God in a difficult time. In other words, no one seeks God like a person with a serious bad issue, who's going through life. Nobody will lean on. You can't tell. No, if you're going through something in life, you're going to seek God. When everything has failed, you'll be down on your knees praying, fasting, asking God to deliver you.
You pray prayers you never even thought you could pray.
You enter realms you didn't know.
Yeah.
You will make lifestyle changes.
Drastic.
Overnight. I know people, and I asked them, like, hey man, how'd you get over your porn addiction? You know what he told me? Yo man, I was going through this really bad season, man. I had debts, like people were like, my life was over, I was failing here, this was wrong. And I just told God, like, I want you to deal with this. I'm giving up everything. And like in 360, like, all of this went away in a month. Like I haven't thought about it since.
Yeah.
I was like, Now, so how long were you trying to like pray about it? I said, man, I was fighting this thing spiritually for like 6 years. And I said, in 1 month, your life was so bad, you found Jesus. Remember what I always say? People come to Christ because they find the devil. Some people can be in church and don't find Christ. But it's until the devil comes knocking. Boom. I need to find God.
I need God.
There's I don't know if you know this. There's a guy called Coulter Wall. He's a country singer, and he has a song, "The Devil Wears a Suit and Tie." So it begins. He's driving down a highway, and he sees a man in another car opposite him in a suit and tie who was moving past him. So he begins saying, Reverend, please come quick. The devil wears a suit and tie. I believe I saw him. For me, when I heard him say that song, what I understood from that is that, hey, Satan, I saw him, and I need to find Jesus. I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like what I felt. I didn't like it at all. So please, I need to find God some way or somehow. To move past that point, the greatest spiritual realm advancements will be the ones you make in your struggle. Because you know how deep you have to get to in prayer to get to deliverance or get to a solution. People who are going through stuff, I'm telling you, when you're going through something, just understand, like, man,
just switch survival mode.
It's like I have to get on my knees and begin to plead God, pray with him, fast, wreck the spiritual environment around me. I have to strike stones till I hit water. Basically, that's what you're doing. That's when you're going to get a result. But people want I believe to go through life, or they believe that the best way to faith, or the best way to God, or the best way to relationship with God should indicate that I have no problems. That if I'm saved, I shouldn't have any problems. On the contrary, you should have many. On the contrary, you need to know how to manage all the issues life will throw at you, because it will.
Yeah.
I know people who tell me, man, I never used to have problems, but then I got saved. And then, man, I don't know, maybe just me, and people tell me, like, let me just be honest with you, man. I got saved, then my problems began. When I was in bars, I didn't have problems. Of course, you have these small problems. People, women are chasing you, you're getting thrown out of places, but that's normal life. But real problems, I didn't have them. But then I got saved, man. And then, I don't know, I started getting fought left, right. And people feel like that.
Yeah.
They feel like that. They feel like that is their life.
Yeah.
That I cannot change this. I cannot move past this. This is rough for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, in relation to that, plan B is a thing, but also, if you're going through something rough, you're going to make the best advancements in your search for Christ, in your pursuit for Christ, in your pursuit for the Word, and in your pursuit from deliverance from whatever it is that is trying to apprehend you. That will be the time you grow the most, right? And people are like, no, Robert, you can also grow in peacetime. And I'm like, no, you can't. The United States military, right? The global war on terror is what has advanced warfare technology. Fighting terrorists is what advanced warfare technology. The weapons when they started the war are not the weapons they had when they finished the war.
Yeah.
People are innovating, pushing, working very, very fast, coming up with new things. That is how your prayer life is. You begin like, man, no, I need to pray here. I need to pray like this. I need to pray this. I need to break this down. I need to start looking for God everywhere. I need my life to change.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what sets your life apart. The other thing I'll ask you guys is are you worried that people are overlooking the importance of trying to get answers in their faith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it also relates to what I was asking you. Some people are just afraid to know the answer. Like, rather than knowing the truth, they'd rather run from it.
Yeah.
Because, for example, there are girls in this world who know their guys are cheating, but don't want to actually check if they're
Don't
cheating.
check that phone.
They don't want to check because they don't want to hear the truth. Like, that's where I can say now there's a that's where they start to panic. Because most people don't actually want to know the truth. They'd rather be comfortable and be quiet. I'm good here, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
And what's funny, it could be 50-50. Like, you might find out and it's the best thing in your life. But then obviously, now those ones, like, ever since I became a Christian, I started having problems. Some people are running from that.
Yeah.
You get that? So, it's a comfortability in their minds that they become stagnant as people. They don't grow spiritually and they don't grow mentally. Like, they're just stuck in one place. Then eventually hard times come and nothing is going to move for them.
Yeah.
Because I think these things also come with opportunities. Like, it comes and goes. Once it's here and you don't take it, the ship sails.
Yeah, I think the consequence of the truth is what scares people. Because once you know the truth, there's 2 points in someone's life: before you know the truth and after you know the truth.
Yeah.
And most people like to be on the other side where they do not know the truth, because the
Ignorance is bliss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's bliss. Because when you get to know the truth, it comes with a certain responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? The Bible says that the truth shall set you free.
Yep.
Shall make you free. Right? Now, some people don't want that freedom, because sometimes freedom means taking responsibility. Right? There's a story in the Bible of the crippled man, the impotent man at the pool of Bethesda in John chapter 5. where it's talking about how he was by the pool waiting for the angel to stop the water, because that's what would happen. The angel would come, stop the water, then whoever got in the pool first would get healed. And then this guy was there for 38 years by the pool. 38 years. And you tell me you cannot be able to get someone, at least negotiate with someone and tell them, hey, get me in the pool first. When I get my healing, maybe I'll put you in as well. Right? Or pay somebody to push you in. Like, do something, right? So Jesus meets this guy and he asks him, I think when Jesus looked at him, he was like, I think this guy he's just comfortable with being this way. And he asked him, do you want to be made whole? And the guy is like, he just goes straight into giving excuse that, hey, every time I want to go into the water, someone goes ahead of me, and so I miss my opportunity. Yeah. And Jesus just looked at this guy and he just realized that this guy doesn't want to be healed. Because for one reason, number one, he's maybe benefiting from the fact that he gets to beg people and they give him free money out of sympathy, right? So he's built up a lifestyle around that. Yeah. Maybe he has picked up an identity where people sympathize with him, and so no one is holding him accountable for not doing anything with his life, right? And so he's afraid that if he gets his freedom, he gets his healing, right? Maybe after that, I'm no longer going to beg. I'm going to have to get a job. I'm going to start working because no one is going to support me. Because then people will hold me accountable. Hey, you received a miracle. You're no longer bound. So what now? You're supposed to do something with your life, right? So that fact, that truth scared the guy. But Jesus was so sharp. He did not engage with him any further. He just told him, get up and go. Just go. Like,
you know something?
Yeah.
It goes back to what we said in the very beginning. The guy had a plan.
Yeah.
And Jesus didn't care.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
The guy had a plan and Jesus didn't care. Like, even when the man had seen Jesus, I think the man had thought that Jesus is going to grab me and put me in the pool. In other words, you finally encounter God and you think God is going to edify your nonsense of a plan. That's what happened with the man. He had a plan.
Yeah.
And God was like, no. I'm not carrying you over there, man. Get up. This is done. Pick up your mat and go home. We're not doing this. I'm not getting wet, neither are you. Go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He had a plan, and his plan met with God.
Wow.
And his plan didn't happen.
Wow.
God is not interested in what you have planned. God is interested in the result.
Yeah.
The result was the healing. His path was his plan, and God wasn't interested in that.
Yeah.
His plan had too many steps.
Right.
His plan diminished the power of God.
Yeah.
It put God's power in angels. And God was like, guys, no. I'm going to have my angel fly all the way down. Bathe. Then I throw you in. Then I come and get you out so you don't drown. Because you can only be in that water for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm sure because you can't walk, you can't swim.
Yeah.
Clearly.
And he's like, well, I have this great plan. But you know how that man sounds like? He sounds like every other believer. Well, I have this great plan. I have a proposal, but I'm really praying to God. God's going to make it work. God's going to do this. And God's sitting there like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
It's not a great idea.
Yeah.
Right? What if God's actual reaction is to do what Jesus did in that situation?
Yeah.
It's for Jesus to just be like, get up and walk. Right? But we want Jesus carry me. Put me in the water. But make sure the angel is there. Carry me, my Lord. And Jesus is like, why don't I renew your strength? Right? Why don't I bring them to you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's powerful.
Like, all of those things don't... There's a verse in the Bible, and it talks about Christ. It says, he was saying, I have come that you may have life, and have life more abundantly.
Yes.
Okay, let me translate for the people who are illiterate. Okay? So I translate properly. I have come so that you may have life, and have life more abundantly. Mind you, do you understand what life is?
Good question.
Life, with all of its ups and downs. Actually, we won't go that far. The best description of life is the first person who had a covenant with God had life. That was Abraham. I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So meaning more of what Abraham had. Newsflash, Abraham had some serious problems.
Yeah.
Abraham wanted a kid. How many years, Naxa?
Was it 100?
Yeah.
Was it 100? And I think the wife was 90. 110. Wow.
He had been wanting a kid all that long.
Yeah.
That was his life.
That's what
I have come that you may have a life and have it more abundantly. Meaning more of the life I have come that you may have.
Yeah.
Not more of the life that you watched in reality television.
Yeah.
Not more of the life that you have thought of. I have come that you may have life. Which means great joy, great riches, but also great patience, great suffering, great hiding, great loss, great sacrifice. I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly.
Yeah.
I have come that you may be enjoying life abundant to its fullest and more.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the Christian life is?
Death.
How do you think he's going to get, you know me, I don't want that stuff. I want to suffer. That's not what I mean. I'm not here to suffer. Okay? That's not my portion. Daddy God did not do that for me. Father God did not want me to suffer. I'm a life of leisure.
It's not my portion.
You want to be a passenger princess in your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are people who want to be driven in their own life. Like they want to be played like a video game. I want to just relax. You know, I just want this to work out for me. I don't want no stress. I don't need stress. It's gonna relax. Let me tell you something. That's not what God is talking about. You know, there's something really important. We said this yesterday. Some people need to just fully understand that there is a pressure that you must. There are people who say, "God, I want you to bless me $1 million." You don't have capacity for $1 million.
Yeah.
When preachers, by the way, one thing I learned, when preachers are talking about capacity, they're not talking about the bank accounts to handle the money, the parking lot to handle the cars, the building to handle the employees, the influence to handle the power. No. He's saying you do not have the capacity to suffer with the thing I've given you and for the thing I've given you. You can't suffer. You think you have life bad. You cannot suffer. And people do not like this message. Because for them, their message is hope. Their message is love and grace. Their message is forgiveness. Unfortunately, all of those things were paid for with suffering. You want something, but you are not willing to suffer and sacrifice for the thing. Happens to you whenever there's a problem. Oh, God. Oh, my God, that's so bad. Oh, man, I don't know how to handle this. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Oh, I don't know how we're going to survive. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, you react at every whim. Those things won't help you. they won't serve you. They won't serve what you're asking what to do. When he talks about capacity, he talks about the ability to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up your cross. Jesus talked about this very well. He said, pick up your cross and follow me.
Wow.
Pick up your cross and follow me. Have you ever carried a cross? Let me put this way. Have you ever carried a sandbag or a punching bag on your shoulders?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you go up a hill. While we're beating, kicking you, we've cut you all the way.
Oh.
That's suffering. When Jesus said, you pick up your cross and follow me, he was saying, pick up your calling and come suffer. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Pick up your cross and come suffer. Let's go.
No one wants to hear that.
No one wants to hear that. Nobody.
Yeah.
The biggest form of victory was achieved after the most gruesome display and observation of suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Death was beaten by us basically reciting over and over and having the pinnacle of our faith every year, which is the resurrection of Christ,
Yeah.
which followed the most gruesome display of suffering. So badly. The worst thing you could ever even describe to any man
Yeah.
or to any person on earth. But that's why he said, pick up your cross and follow me. The Bible then continues, the meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah.
That those who are meek shall inherit the earth. That thing does not mean what people believe it means. Meek does not mean... So, meek... Naxa, read to me the Oxford Dictionary of meek.
Meek.
Meek. The meek shall inherit the earth.
Oxford Dictionary. I was seeing the one for... Oh, yeah. Meek, it says... There's one which says quiet, gentle, and easily imposed on, submissive.
The sentence they use, she brought her meek little husband along.
Let me help you understand. That doesn't sound right, does it?
No.
No.
Does that sound right to you?
No.
Because yeah, it says docile.
Does that sound... Basically, the word you have just read
Yeah.
displays a victim.
Yeah.
Overly compliant, spiritless, yielding, or tame. Oh.
Have you just read that?
Yeah.
That's not what it means.
Yeah.
That's not what it means. Meek means, the Greek version of meek means, those who have swords
Yeah.
and know how to use them, but keep them sheathed, shall inherit the earth. Let me describe to you what that means in its entirety. It means those people who have volunteered to be good will inherit the earth.
Yeah.
In other words, to volunteer to be good means you have a massive capacity for bad.
Yeah.
But he has chosen to be good.
Yeah.
He has the violence, the dominator under control. He has said no.
Yeah.
He has chosen to be good.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who inherit the earth. You want to know why? Let me give you an example. Abraham just chose to be good. David struggled, but
Yeah.
chose to be good.
He struggled.
Daniel chose to be good.
Yeah.
Joseph chose to be good.
Yeah, that's actually.
They could have had a different outcome. These men were capable. Moses chose to be good.
Yeah.
Elijah chose to be good. Elisha chose to be good.
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
Because he sent a whole. There's a story. There's a bunch of kids who were laughing at his bald head. That's where he prayed to God, and he sent a bear. A bear just ripped all of them apart just because they laughed at him for being bald headed. So
Jesus chose to be good.
yeah.
Voluntary control. I have it under voluntary control. But I am very capable of the flip side of this thing. A docile, weak person, you're not inheriting anything. You are a victim.
Yeah.
You are a victim. But those who have swords, the part where Jesus asks his disciples, how many swords do we have? And he's embarrassed by the answer. Master, we have 2. And I believe one of those belong to Jesus.
Yeah.
I got my
And I believe the other one most likely was Peter's.
Yeah.
Jesus was strapped.
Yeah. Actually,
He
yeah.
was
Yeah.
strapped.
It was a knife.
Yeah.
What people are forgetting is that, and let me tell people this, being harmless does not mean you're a good person. It means you're good by default because you have no capacity of being bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have no choice but to be good.
Yeah.
You're harmless.
Exactly.
You're harmless. There's nothing. No one is worried about you, Satan included.
Yeah.
Right? That is the essence of trying to pivotally understand this. The guys who are choosing to just keep quiet, like leave you alone, always understand to a point.
Yeah. To a point.
Always understand to a point. Because the level of what people deem now as great is, or virtuous, is a harmless person. My friend,
Yeah.
no way is that virtuous. Victimhood is not a virtuous thing. Victimhood is not virtuous. This is why Jesus did his best to remove that identity from everyone he prayed for. Mary included. He said, no. You can't live a victim. I understand what happened to you, but sorry, no. You can't be a victim. That identity is not a thing. It's not virtuous.
Yeah.
Harmlessness is not virtuous. You just read the word meek.
Yeah.
So how do many Christians behave? And this is the worst kind of thing. A person who is now trying to follow that, but he's really the very opposite. He's capable of immense levels of danger. Now he's trying to be harmless and docile. First of all, it's the most pathetic thing. 2, people, false humility was coined from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harmlessness is not godliness.
Yeah.
It is the willingness to control the lion within and do not let it unleash on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone would say, but no, Robert, no, that's not the gospel. Let me give you an example. None of you are a man after God's own heart. I tell this to everybody. A man after God's own heart was David.
Yeah.
No, none of you you've not met the standard. The standard is very simple. David killed hundreds of thousands of people. You've only killed a plate of chicken. And pork on the weekends.
Yeah.
So anything you massacre.
Like when we're talking about this and trying to really understand what it means about inheriting the earth, those who are capable will inherit the earth. Why? Because to inherit something like this requires whatever you inherit, you must protect.
Yeah.
Imagine a docile guy at the helm. Man, weak leaders are the most dangerous people. Weak leaders. Guys, those docile, harmless people are the most dangerous people.
Yeah.
Because man. If Jesus was a docile, if you read that description and that was Jesus, do you know what would have happened? The day there was word, they're coming to capture you.
Yeah.
Oh, humanity reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys would have been all those wise guys. They would have encountered angels at anything. But on the flip side, if Jesus was willing and saying, "You're going to do what?" No. Jesus. What people understand about the power of Christ could have told the Roman guard, "Kill all of them," and then go into the city and massacre Pontius Pilate. "You're not touching me." And you think the guy would have said no? Christ has spoken to your inner man. He would have done it. But Jesus said, "Okay, fine, let's go. It's okay." He fixed the ear of the other guy. Very capable of doing the exact opposite.
Actually, interesting. An example of that is he tormented Pilate's wife.
Yeah.
And she was like, "That man tormented me in my sleep. He tormented me." Like he was showing them that, hey, I'm capable of far more. I'm just, keeping it on the low.
I have come here under my own voluntary control. You did not bring me.
Yeah.
Which now I want to pose this, which begs this question. Did they lock Jesus up? Or was Jesus locked in there with them? It's a very different thing.
Yeah.
Did you really capture Jesus or did he surrender himself? Very different scenario.
Yeah.
It's very different. I know people who have gone and captured guys.
Yeah.
In the worst countries in the world, in the dead of night. And then there are people who surrender. It's okay, let's go, no problem. No bloodshed, nothing, let's go. It's very hard to believe. You can think that we this is what we do. We have made Christ docile in the view of humanity.
Yeah.
That he's weak, that he does all of this, and that's far beyond the case.
Yeah.
That's far beyond the case. Jesus had all power given to him. All knowledge given to him. Nothing out of his reach. No command out of his reach.
Yeah.
Jesus knew more about warfare than any of them would have ever known. Still just decided. Jesus knew more about psychological warfare, military tactics to destroy all those people than But the guy just said, "Okay, this is what's happening, it's cool." Boom. Cried to his father, "Please take this cup from me." Begged, cried, but still went ahead with the whole thing. On the cross, even when he could have just said, "Father, no.
Yeah.
No, these people are not worth." But he said, "No, forgive them, for they don't know what they do."
I think that's what he was afraid of the most. I think that's why Jesus wanted the cup to be removed, because he didn't know if he could go through that whole process of like just being under restraint amidst everything. Like
But if you think about it, would it if he decided not to restrain himself, would it have mattered? It wouldn't have mattered. They would have just restarted again with another earth, but a bunch of other humans they don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But he said, "No. There are no such things as, if you want to inherit this earth,
and you're a victim. Change your life now, immediately.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you need to remove all ideas of it.
Yeah. You know the best, when this now goes to inheritance, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
His parents were killed as a kid.
Yeah.
He inherited Wayne Enterprise, billions and billions of dollars. He did not victimize himself that my parents were killed.
Yeah.
I can't do this. Nah. The kid sat at board meetings with old men and told him we're gonna do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
And kept on with the father's wealth.
You know,
Wow.
let me put it in this light. No one has ever said this, but I've always told this amongst myself, right? Lions walk amongst you. Wolves walk amongst you. You would not want to be a professional deer amongst lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because they've decided go about my life.
Yeah.
I have a different purpose for my life. Does not mean they're not lions.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that is something that people, I like we always talk about here. I grew up when fighting was socially acceptable. I grew up when guys were, you know, like we were sorting stuff out in school with
fights.
With fights. So for me, I grew up getting bullied in London, not here, in London. So fighting for me was like a normal thing. And I learned a few things. One, you're not the only tough guy.
Yeah.
Right? And being tough comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. There are people who are mentally tough but extremely small.
Yeah.
A mentally tough and extremely small guy is extremely dangerous. Why? Because the biggest muscle he has is his brain.
Yeah.
That guy will think, plan for you, and come for you. I wasn't always big. Robert was a tiny, skinny kid when I was in London. There were some big kids, man. There were some kids bro, I think you skipped like 5 years and remained the same guy. You should not be here.
Yeah.
Like big kids.
Yeah.
But I learned one thing. Yo, I never want to just be a victim. Meaning I look like a target.
Yeah.
Looking like a tiger.
Like I look like you can do what you want. Nobody wants that. And then there's a kid I knew, and he had been bullied when he was growing up. But the kid is absolutely smart. Like, I mean smart. And he's freakishly strong now. Like, he's about 2 years younger than me, but wears specs, the small dude, but freakishly strong, but intelligent. I mean, just massive IQs. And he was being bullied one day, so what he did, he basically studied this guy's life. What time he goes home, what time he gets picked up, like what time he does all this stuff. And then he caught him in the most vulnerable time. When he was in the bathroom. That's where he got his revenge. Now, this small dude, like he does jiu-jitsu, he grapples, but he's freakishly strong. Freakishly strong for his age. It's shocking. Very shocking. But imagine if he was bigger, faster, with all already the other attributes. Right? Now, what people don't understand, you want to know why businessmen are like this, right? You want to know why Zuckerberg is taking up MMA. There is an ability of aggression that men, if they do not keep moving, those men will end up, if they don't keep exercising it, it's like you're putting it in a jar that's already full. There's nowhere to go, and you don't want that thing to explode. An exploding jar is basically, it can now not be contained, nothing's holding it. So guys have to like slowly pour here. I'm start taking, boxing, subdues. Let me have a fight with Elon Musk.
Elon too.
right?
Yeah, same with Elon, yeah.
They have to keep doing stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to inherit the earth, you can't be the person who is a forever victim. I wanted actually, one of the things I wanted to do today is talk about like a woman who is a Meek. Let me give you an example.
A meek woman.
And this one will scare you.
So as Rob is looking for that, please don't forget to subscribe. I see there's a number of you. Please subscribe and ring the bell notification so that you can always be notified whenever we upload a video. Do not forget to do that. And then next week on the 14th to the 16th, next Thursday, we are going to be having a Riot conference. It's going to be happening at Miracle Center Cathedral. Gates are going to be open as early as 9 a.m. So please make sure you come with a friend, and don't miss out on the fun. Don't miss out on the experience. Come be blessed. Then Saturday we're going to be baptizing. So there's a bunch of people that have not been baptized yet. So please make sure you come through, and you will be baptized, and your life will not be the same again. That's a guarantee. So please be sure to come through, and yeah. Subscribe. We need all of you to subscribe. Don't just watch, because we have a lot of new viewers even today. I'm sure we do. People who just like to watch but don't subscribe. Subscribe so that you're notified. Some people say, hey, I didn't know you were going live. When are you going live next? But yeah, subscribe and you'll be notified.
So
Yeah.
the lady I'm going to read to you about is Miriam Rodriguez. Okay?
Name sounds familiar.
Miriam Rodriguez, to give you a story about her life. Her daughter was kidnapped by the cartel. Her daughter was brutally raped, beaten, and then killed. So she had tried going to the cops and the police, and nothing had happened. So this woman grabs a small revolver, puts it in her purse, buys a myriad of fake IDs, gets some cash, and proceeds to hunt down and kill all 5 men and members of the cartel around the globe who did that to her daughter.
Wow.
This is not a Jason Bourne movie.
Yeah,
That's real life.
that's real life.
She hunted them down in disguises, jumpers and hoodies, using fake IDs to go places, and killed every last one of them. Eventually, and she kept going. The cartel got so worried and nervous, they put out a hit on her and eventually killed her.
Wow.
And it was getting so hard, the hitman was saying, we can't find her. It's not an easy thing. One of them, I believe she killed one of the hitmen they sent. One of the best sicarios.
With a revolver.
A revolver.
Bro, this is not even a Glock. It's a revolver. Like,
Let me let you understand. Let me tell you an instance. The woman was one of the most loving. Everyone in the community loved her. Everyone loved her family. She would cook for people. She would care for people. She would help you when you had nothing. She would go out of her way to help you. But they touched her kid,
Yeah.
and the floodgates.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine, no one can tell you, bro, you're going to meet your end by an old lady above 60
With a revolver.
with a revolver.
Wait, she was
And
above 60. That went through
the
my head.
woman was old.
Oh, wow.
Miriam Rodriguez was old.
That's wild.
And it takes us back to this amazing point. Female lions, a lot of times, are more dangerous than the males.
Because remember, in the wild, the lionesses, the hunters.
Yeah.
The greatest miscalculation by a cartel in history. Because why? Violence followed the nonsense. All of them did. All of them who are involved were dead. And she never quit. It took her 2 years to catch the guy.
Wow. 2 years just contemplating and planning.
She focused her whole life on that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Those are people, and when the people in our community talk about her, they talk about her with such love and such caring. You see, that is the description of Meek.
Yeah.
The woman had the capacity was there. She just never had a reason to. She was a great member of her community, great member of her church, was loving, helped people, right? Cooked for people, helped pay people's bills, loved people. But the guys, there's a saying, they screwed around and they found out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gospelized the saying.
Some Jesus on it. Got some Jesus.
There's a guy I saw, he actually drew a graph, and it's like the more you around, the more you find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they found out. They found out.
But
No one
Christians
saw
these
it
days are
coming.
Christians these days are just the opposite of what we've seen in this. Because if you tell me someone like Abraham,
It's here. She cut her hair, dyed it, and disguised herself as a pollster, a health worker, and an electrician official to get their names and addresses.
What?
She invented excuses to meet their families. Unsuspecting grandmothers and cousins who gave her details, however small, she wrote everything down, stuffed it into her black computer bag, building her investigation and tracking them down one by one. She knew their habits, friends, hometowns, childhoods. She knew the florist had sold flowers on the street before joining the Zeta cartel and getting involved in her daughter's kidnapping.
what?
Now he was on the run and back to what he knew, selling roses to make ends meet.
And police are still...
65-year-old lady.
A whole investigation.
Yeah. And police still can't find someone's stolen phone with a GPS in it, but she tracked down all these guys.
She was highly motivated.
Bro. This is an old lady. This is a grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60.
I have a grandmother.
Retirement age.
I know grandmothers. We have many in our church. Do you know what scares me about that? Is that wasn't God.
Yeah.
That wasn't David. That simply was a grandmother.
Yeah.
So now imagine God.
Should be alive.
Yeah, we know what God can do. He turned people to salt.
Yeah.
Don't look back.
Yeah.
Hence he become it as well.
Yeah.
Some people couldn't help themselves.
Hey, that one, I've read it over and over again, yeah? Like, you were given one instruction.
Yeah.
And this is not the God we're talking about of where some people now get authority in their mind and like, my head's messing with me. It was simple direction, from who. Don't look back.
Yeah.
And you look back, and now...
Because she was invested, that's the thing. You were saying, instead of trusting, trust the direction. Because by the time someone comes from wherever they've come from heaven to warn you. And not only just to warn you, because you see, the angel came to Joseph.
Yeah.
When, was it Herod was looking for Jesus to kill him? So the angel appears to Joseph in a dream and is like, hey, go to Egypt, go down to Egypt with the baby, you'll be safe there. This one came down, warned them, and walked with them, showed them the way out. Like, he did not just tell them, hey, that the way out is that way, so, don't do this. No, he walked with them and told them, hey, do not look back. But because this was it Lot? Lot's wife was
Lot.
invested in. I think she was heavily invested in where she was, and she didn't really have trust. Again, it gets back to Lot understood. He understood what was. He knew who had come to them. His wife, I don't think, really understood the person that was speaking.
Could have been a case of maybe she was also part of them and she had to go. Because
I wouldn't say that, because in those days, the household, the man would make sure, because if she was in on it, then also the daughters would be in on it. Even Lot himself, right? The entire family would be in on it, right? But it was something, the same thing with Eve, Adam and Eve. Like, he never got, I don't think he took time to explain to this wife of his where he was from. That, hey, the people I'm attached to, the family I'm attached to is a family that deals with God directly, right? So when this God gives an instruction, when he tells you something, he's going to do it, right? So I think there was that discrepancy, and then when it came time, when the rubber hit the road, yeah, she caved in and she just decided to look back and became a pillar of salt, you know? But you see, back to the point of what we're talking about meekness, you don't see the Christians that we see in the Bible, like people that believe in God and they're like, you know, they're capable of violence, if I may say it. I don't know why we've been conditioned to be soft, right? Because, I mean, Abraham had 300 men. When Lot was taken hostage, Abraham had 300 men in his household. 300 men ready to go kill. 300. Bro, think about that, right? They were bodyguards, actually. Bodyguards ready to do violence, right? Someone like David. David was someone you don't cross. I think the reason why David always spent his time away from his brothers was because he just didn't want to cross paths with them, because if they butted heads, they would find out.
Let me tell you something. There's a great saying.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to coin this from another guy, Matt Pranker. The inside dogs and the outside dogs. The outside dogs can be inside, but they just have no need to.
Yeah.
But the inside dogs can't really be outside.
They wouldn't survive.
It's not for them, man. It's not their thing. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not their thing.
David was an outside dog.
Yeah.
Vicious. I mean, but you don't find Christians these days that are like that. I mean, we are so soft. It's hard for us to defend our faith. Even when someone like stands up and tries to mock, tries to mock our God, they try to, we can't stand up to defend. Even like in public spaces, right? You find on, let's say, Twitter, someone just comes up and starts talking ill about Christians. They start talking ill about our God. They start mocking our God. And then we're like, no, they can say whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. We just let them fly,
As Christians, I think we take our niceness too far. Like, we even, us personally, some of us allow ourselves to be disrespected by other people.
Yeah.
Like, for example, remember when the meeting started, I told people, they came up to me, they're like, we've always seen you, but we're scared to approach you. Why not? You're very intimidating. And I told them, you can always come talk to me. But if you know what you're going to tell me is nonsense, don't bring it to me. You understand?
Yeah.
Because we can be friends, but if your conversations do not connect with me as me, I am not going to tolerate them.
Yeah.
The issue is some Christians out there in the world, they tolerate all kinds of nonsense. They run with it.
Yeah.
They enjoy it, and they're like, okay. And then themselves, they get turned around, and then sad story, there was a chick I knew, we were in high school together. This chick hated the alphabet community.
Yeah.
More than me. And you know how I hate them.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that whole agenda. Now, this chick was just more free-going, should I say? that she tolerated most of these people who had those agendas in their minds, like it's okay, what.
Yeah.
Later on, a year later, now she's like supporting them. And I ask her, you were worse than me when it came to this situation.
Yeah.
Then she's like, no, I got educated, what. No, you were just corrupted. But now you're sweetening up the words and saying you were educated. No, your mind was corrupted and shifted. Now you've been lied to, and now you're going around lying to everyone else.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Corruption is deceit, right? When you're deceived, it means one of the definitions for deceit, being deceived or deceitfulness, is being so convinced that you're on the right path even when you're wrong. Even when you believe a lie to the point that you feel like it is the right thing. It's the right thing to do. It's the right path to take. It's the right direction. It's the right move, right? So people like that, right? You find that their basis, you said she was more extreme than you.
Yeah.
So everything about her was just extremity. Her extremity was not grounded.
Yeah.
You see, it was just based off of, you never know, maybe it was public opinion or the culture, but it wasn't something solid. So when someone comes in with something seemingly correct, you know what I mean? They come with something that seems to be true, seems to be correct, well presented, right? She's easily swayed, right? Today when I was listening to radio, there was a sound bite. It was a skit, and it was about on the skit there was a lady that was seated on a train, right? The train was going one direction. Let's say it was going to the UK, right? And she wanted to go to Japan, and people were telling her that the conductor told her, "Hey, this train is going to the UK."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I thought it's going to Japan." He's like, "No, madam, it's going to the UK. That's the fact." She's like, "No, but for me, I believe that it's going to Japan."
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "No, it's going to the UK because that's what it says." And people in the bus were like, the other people in the train, they were like, "No, but she seems sincere in her conviction. The way she's saying it's going to Japan. She seems sincere. Maybe she's right. Maybe it should go. It should be going to Japan, right?" So there are people who think because someone is sincere in their approach, in their communication, right? They think that person is right.
Yeah.
There's people who listen and follow and rotate, even when, for example, he's not always right.
Yeah.
Right? He might be right about some things, but there are some things which he's
the lens is like 70%.
Yeah.
64. The solutions, unless he's talking about fixing in London's crime rate, but everything else as a solution. Maybe 10-20% is a solution. The solutions are not there.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I'm a Christian.
His brother is more. His brother is better.
I'm a person. I don't jump ship looking at a place because of. I'll be more respected if I'm a Muslim or whatever. I mean, like, I think maybe God will reveal Himself to him.
You pray it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see that there's people who are easily convinced because when he delivers, the way he communicates, the honesty he speaks with, the command, the authority with which he speaks, they're convinced that, maybe this guy is right? And that's a bunch of people that they will be swayed by any agenda as long as whoever is communicating and pushing that agenda seems to be
right,
seems to be genuine. They seem to be, if they need to cry, they'll cry.
Not seem like they're right. They just stand by it more than what you stand for.
Yeah.
Like they're stronger in what their opinion is than you are in your own facts.
Yeah, so you're easily swayed. And it's not a good place to be. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in his ways. They are easily swayed by the wind. Whichever the direction the wind goes, that's where you go. That's not. You can't build your life around that. If that's your 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 way of living, right? So it's important to be grounded in the right things. I do not believe that we should be weak as Christians, right? You should be able to defend the faith. You should be able to defend what you believe in. And most of us are not in that place. We are not yet at that place where we can stand up and say, hey, you're not going to talk about my God like that. You're not going to move like that around me. You're not going to say that around me. We usually just like to, acclimatize and just, blend in, which is not a good thing to it's not a good place to be, especially as Christians. So with that, if you're watching, please make sure you subscribe.
Yes, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, tell everybody. And we are so glad to have you. Hey, Riot Worship, it's out now. We have conference next week. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And we want to thank you guys for joining us. But hey, like, subscribe, share. Head over to Riot Worship. Subscribe at Riot Worship. Share at Riot Worship. It's going to be incredible. We love you guys. It's going to be powerful next week. So we want you guys to join us. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. Maybe one of these lives will be live on Riot Worship.
Yeah.
You never, on Riot Conference. So you never know. But share, subscribe, hit the subscribe button on here. But also, right now, go to Riot Worship. Check out the new song. It's going to be a blessing. It's also on Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah.
And Tidal and all those other platforms. So you can head there and listen, worship, play the song. Just leave it streaming in your house. Leave it streaming on YouTube for you. And God will be a blessing to you. We love you guys. Have a great time and see you soon.
Peace.